All right, let's go to Lydia in Seattle, Washington. What's up, Lydia? How we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, John?
Good. I'm kind of a mess today. I'm getting there. You're
I'm
going to be on the
nervous.
show that people are like, what is that guy doing? I'm not drinking. It's too early in the morning. But I'm a bit of a mess. But now I'm all back in. I just took my deep breath. We're recentered and all that zen woo-woo. What's up, Lydia?
I need to do that too. I'm nervous. I'm trying to tell myself I'm just like talking to a friend.
Number one,
live.
we're super friends. Number two, clearly by the first 5 minutes of this show, I don't know what I'm doing. So you do not have anything to be nervous about at all. I'm kind of nervous to talk to you.
Okay.
You're from Seattle.
Okay.
So what's up?
Let's do this. Nothing. I've just kind of been feeling, I'm 26, married. I have 3 kids. My husband's my best friend, and we have a great group of friends. I want to preface that. I love my group of friends that I have.
But
I just would also like some new friends, I guess, like maybe people that I connect with in other ways. And it's just, I gave you my background because it's kind of, I guess, hard to make friends. Like, I don't know where or how or, I guess the group of friends that I have, we've been friends with them for a long time. A lot of the girls that I am friends with are, significant others of my husband's friends. And just because we've been together, since we were like 18, it's just who I've been surrounded by. And I think now my kids are getting, in like the toddler phase. So I have more flexibility to, go out and do stuff on my own or,
here's what you're allowed to say, Lydia. Number one, what you're articulating is so hard, and I get that.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to say, I don't like my husband's friends that much. Or you're allowed to say, they're default friends. Like, they're just my friends because they're always there. And so what's up? And then suddenly our kids are playing with their kids. And I don't like how they talk to their kids. And their kids are weird or gross or they don't. And all that starts to add up, especially you've got 3 kids. And I imagine at 26, you're in kind of a little sliver of life where not a lot of 26-year-olds have the stress of 3 kids. They still have their special doodle dog and their 1 kid. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's so much. And you're looking at them like, how about I burn your house down? Or people with 3 kids are like 40 or they're 35 and they're like, oh, you're so cute. And they pat you on the head and you're like, listen, I got 3 kids too, idiot. And your husband's
totally
like,
right.
Bro, let's just have Cheetos and burritos and let's go get them. And by the way, Cheetos and burritos rhymed. And I've never done that before till just now. So you find yourself, Lydia, on an island all by yourself. Is that fair?
Yeah, yes and no. I think my husband even feels it too. Like these are people he's been friends with for a long time, but he has different interests. So we feel it on like 2 different levels. We are both feeling this personally, and we're also feeling it as a couple.
Okay, so that's actually, that's awesome because y'all are in this together now. Because I've had experiences where wife wants to break up with friend group and husband's like, what's wrong? They're my bros. And she's like, you're an idiot.
No.
And okay. So let me ask you a hard question. Why don't y'all start doing other things together and inviting different people?
Well, I guess it's just kind of like who, like I think we need to like overall meet new people.
Yes.
So, yeah. So it's just kind of like, I guess we just need to go out and try new things and just hopefully meet people. That's just intimidating and like hard.
Yes. So do either of y'all work?
Yeah, we both work.
Do either of you like do things in the community, like have a softball team or a club of some sort or anything like that?
No, and that's kind of what I've been thinking about too. I think we need to get out and, start doing things in the community. And also what I was thinking too, our kids are getting older, like they're going to start playing sports or like music or dance or something like that. So he actually told me that the other day. He's like, you'll probably meet like other moms and, people that you might have in common. So,
And what I would say is yes and. And yes and is you'll be around them. It will still be awkward. It'll still be weird. One of you will still have to
yeah.
say, hey, I'd love just to get together. One of you will have to say, hey, you and your husband come over to my house, bring your kids. And he's like, well, I got a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old. And then we have this magical 1-year-old now that we didn't plan. I mean, that will happen. And you'll be like, I don't care. Come over. And I'm not cleaning my house, by the way, because this is just how we roll. This is the kind of friends I want to have that I don't have to clean my house for. And y'all get to decide that. So you are going to be around people, and there'll be like, preschool kids or kindergarten kids that, hey, I want to have 3 dads and moms over and their little kid. Yeah, all that is super true. So what I would tell you is you're at a natural transition point where this is about to start happening. And it is uncomfortable. I experienced it with my closest friends. All of a sudden.
And you don't think it's like mean to your current friends? Like, it's not like I don't want to be friends with them. Like, I feel like guilty in a way, sort of.
Yeah, no, not at all. I get what you're saying, but not at all. People just grow and things change and they morph. And what ends up happening is you end up drowning yourself in your own expectations and your own guilt.
Yeah.
And that guilt turns to resentment. So choose guilt every time. It's okay to feel guilty, but you're not breaking up with anybody. And it's okay to grow and to want new things, especially when you're doing it in concert with your partner, with your husband there.
Yeah.
Y'all are doing this together. And so there will still be the once a year that you get together with all the old idiots. That's cool. And that once a year, or maybe twice a year, becomes once a year. And then it becomes, hey, we're going to go do this thing. I experienced this when 2 of my best friends in the world, we all started having kids. And then suddenly, one of my best buddies became like, I'm all in Little League person. Like, I think about Little League. That's all I talk about. I think about it. I'm like planning strategies for Little League. I go to the ball fields on Saturday mornings and I go, like, I live there all day. I watch the other kid. I'm scouting the other 7-year-olds. And then I've got one buddy who became like a Cub Scout dad. And I was like, what? Like, we just have different interests. And then I was like a idiot dad. I want to go play in the woods all the time. And they were like, Delony, here's this cool thing called the 21st century. Why don't you live in that? And I'm like, I know, but what if we, right? And so I love them. Like, love these guys. I love their wives. They're close. And we all just kind of naturally started doing things that were of interest to us and our particular kids and our families. And so we get together once a year. And now I live in a different state and all that. We get together once a year. But I don't begrudge the fact that, man, he loves to go to the ball fields all day. That's just kind of their thing. That's not me and my kids' thing. Me and my kids' thing is to go play in the mud and go in the creeks and go hunting a lot. And they're not big hunters. That's awesome. So that naturally happens. What's not okay is if I start not liking them because life is gently nudging them in other directions. If I begrudge them that, then they're not really my friends. I'm trying to hold them into a picture of what I want our friendship to be. And the same thing applies for you. Okay. Y'all have 3 kids. Y'all start leaning other directions. You start hanging out. And then your friend's like, oh my gosh, you abandoned us. You never hang out with it. Well, then they're acting.
Yeah, that's what it.
They're acting like 4-year-olds. They can't trap you like that.
Okay.
And you have to be intentional about finding new community because you're going to get really lonely.
Yeah.
And it's awesome to be married to your best friend. That's the best way to do it. And you still have to have other people that are just yours.
Okay.
Because y'all will pull each other underwater. I talk to too many executives across the country who use their spouses as trash cans. Here's all the crap that happened to me today. Because they're the only other human they interact with all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's it too. I mean, my husband, he is my best friend, and we love doing things together. We just, there's certain things where we want to do, with a girlfriend, and him, another guy.
Absolutely. I want to free you from any burden you feel that you are stuck in this thing forever. You are not.
Okay. I think I just needed someone to tell me it's okay, to like try to go make other friends without offending the ones that we have now.
Not only is it okay, it's the right, healthy, loving, wonderful, great thing to do. Not only is it the right, wonderful, I don't remember all those words I just used. Not only is it important, but your marriage depends on it. Your parenting depends on it. So think of it as we have to start exercising, or we have to start eating right, or we have to have some sort of faith context in our life. We have to be on the same page with parenting. Think of it that, and we have to go to work and earn money so we can eat. Think of it, it's that important that we have to create new friendships. And here's the words I want you to hang on to. I want you to choose guilt over resentment. Have you ever heard me say that?
No.
Okay. Choose guilt. If somebody
Over
asks
resentment.
you, hey, we want you to, hey, we're all getting together to do this thing, and your first thought is, I don't want to go hang out with y'all. You will feel guilty for not going those first few times. You say no.
Yeah.
You will feel guilty when they call and you're like, what? We missed you. Why didn't you come? You never hang out with us anymore. And you're like, yeah, we're just spending some family time. Or we were hanging out with some friends from Zoe's dance class. You'll feel guilty, and that's normal. That's fine. Choose that every time over choosing resentment. And that is, you don't want to go. Your husband doesn't want to go. You don't want your kids around their kids, but you go anyway because you feel this
Yeah, that's
duty.
exactly.
And you hate getting ready for it. You hate driving over there. You hate being there. And then you hate the drive home. And then you and your husband are whining and complaining to each other. Choose guilt every time over resentment.
Because I feel like the guilt will go away, but the resentment won't.
The resentment turns, it's like coals on a fire. It just burns everything to ash. And it's hard to come back from resentment. And that resentment breeds dissension in your marriage. And your kids feel it. And so
it does. Sometimes I'm like, if he doesn't want to go, it's like, come on, like, let's just go. We'll only be there for an hour or something like that.
And you want to do that because you think you're supposed to, that you have a duty to go. No, you have a duty to take care of your family and sleep and laugh and enjoy this guy. Y'all have 3 kids and you're only 26. If you've got a night that you can just hang out with your husband and y'all can look at each other like you're gross 18-year-olds again, do that. Don't go hang out with idiots. You know what I mean? You are right in the right spot, Lydia, asking the right questions, doing the right things, and get some friends that are older. Like me and my wife waited till we were later to have kids. Man, she hangs out with lots of people that are 5 years younger than her, 10 years younger than her, and it's awesome. It's super fun. And I think it's good for the younger folks to be around someone who's older and wiser. Not that I'm saying my wife's old, but she's 1,000. Or it's good for my wife to realize I'm not so old. I can hang with the young kids. I can hang with the kids. It's good for everybody. You get to exchange wisdom and excitement and fun, and we get to learn who Post Malone is. I didn't know who that was, whatever. But cool. Great question, Lydia. Thank you so much. Go make new friends. Make them all the time. Always be making new friends.